And welcome. You're listening to The Matt Burton Show. I'm your host, Matt Burton. And today we have a special guest, Bob Jacobs from Weston and Amy Conway from Martha Stewart. Thank you. And Bob, thank you so much for coming in.
Our pleasure.
Springtime's here. Summertime is slowly approaching if you haven't looked at the thermometer. And that means wedding season. Tell us a little bit what's going on this wedding season.
Yeah, well, so at Weston Hotels, we just completed a survey of 4,000 honeymoon couples talking about trends that we've seen. And one of the most surprising things that we saw was that people are having much more active honeymoons than they ever did before. The number of couples that are visiting multiple destinations, for example, has doubled in the last 5 years, and they're doing a lot more healthy things while they're on their honeymoons.
Really? Now, do you see more people starting to stay closer to home, or are they still doing the typical going off, way off somewhere?
Well, there's a lot of people are actually staying closer to home. As Bob was just talking about, they want to make the most of their vacations. They're really active, and so that means they want to spend more time vacationing and less time traveling. So North American travel is definitely on the rise. We're seeing a lot more couples who are staying right here in the U.S. and going to Canada as well.
Right. Well, I remember whenever I had my honeymoon, I know we went and we ate like pigs. I know that's hard, because I mean we're out there on the beach, drinking a drink, eating everything in sight because it's all inclusive and blah blah blah. I mean, are people still doing that, or are they really taking care of themselves?
Well, some people are probably still doing that, but a lot more people are living a really active and healthy life, and they're bringing that right into their honeymoon along with them. And so that means they still might be having a cocktail on the beach. There's definitely nothing wrong with that, but they might follow it up by going for a hike or a bike ride or a snorkeling trip. Or one of the facts from this survey that I really love is that 40% of honeymooners actually went for a run on their honeymoon, which I think is great because I'm a runner myself, and I know that it's a great way to see a new place. And hotels make it really easy. They'll tell you where to go. They'll tell you, the good, safe, scenic routes to go. And in fact, I know that Weston will even lend you a pair of running sneakers and running shorts if you forgot to bring yours. So they're really making it easy for people to take their healthy habits right into their honeymoons as well.
Well, I guarantee you one thing. I'm not counted in that 1% or what, like I said, the percent of runners. I assure you, I'm the one at the buffet bars.
Yeah, there's always an exception that proves the rule.
Right.
Right. So now let me tell you, what from the Weston side of things, what's the number one travel destination right now that Weston is seeing?
Yeah, we have hotels all over in the Caribbean and ski destinations in Hawaii. So we're seeing a great volume of honeymooners at all of those. Probably the most surprising one to us in the survey was how many people are skiing as part of their honeymoon. They're twice as likely to actually go on a ski honeymoon than they were 5 years ago.
We talked about the healthy living. Are you seeing a trend where people are, and this is crazy, someone told me the other day that they're bringing children on honeymoons. I don't think that's not in your line of thinking, is it, or is this?
Well, it's one of the things I know at Martha Stewart Wedding, they have seen this a lot with some of their readership. People are bringing friends and family and on their honeymoons now. It is one of the surprising things that we're starting to see. Yeah,
Matt, we call it a buddy moon, and it's where people invite their friends and family members to go on the trip with them and just keep the party going after the wedding.
Well, you know what? I don't know if my girlfriend would ever, once we come to that point, I doubt she would want me to bring my buddies along. So now let me ask you this, Bob, how big of a business is the well-being sector for the hotels?
Yeah, well-being's a $1 trillion industry in the U.S., and it continues to grow. We've talked to millennials in the past, and 60% of them say that well-being is the number one most important thing in their life. And so we've really created an experience at Weston Hotels that caters to that. Our whole offering at Weston is all about promoting wellness and travel.
Perfect. Now, are you also finding, because I know whenever I think of honeymoon, I think, you put everything you've got into that one special day, but mostly that special weekend or week-long trip. Because are you finding that people are willing to pay the premium for well-being with traveling?
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is another thing that we've seen is people do claim that they're willing to pay more for, things like local food and healthy food, for gyms and fitness activities. So they're seeking these things out. And the other thing that they've told us is that they value experiences much more than they value physical things. And I think that's a broader trend, but we're seeing it in the hotel businesses as well. One of our properties in Maui, for example, has a gift registry, a wedding gift registry, but instead of china and other things that you would expect to find, they offer experiences. Your friends and family can buy you a snorkeling trip or a hiking trip as part of your wedding gift.
Well, hiking and snorkeling I can see, but you said even snow skiing earlier in the interviews.
Yeah, so snow skiing is definitely one of those things that's on the rise in terms of honeymoons that we're seeing.
Very brave people, I tell you. Very brave people. So. Now, I remember 10 years ago whenever I got married, and like I said, I'm divorced now, but back then we didn't really have the smartphones, and we weren't really connected to technology as now we have our phones on our hips. You're listening to shows and, the radio on your phones now. And something I found interesting is that your survey shows that people are not disconnecting even on their honeymoon.
No, they're not. They are still bringing their phones with them, but the good news is that they are disconnecting from work more than they used to. So they're not checking in with the boss so much, but they're still taking pictures and they're posting them and they're sending them to their friends, and they're keeping in touch with friends and family, but they are not working quite as much as they used to. So that's the good news.
Perfect. Well, I know in radio I'll have to do some type of remote down there, down the Caribbean or something. So, Bob, can you tell us how they can get in touch with you through your website?
Yeah, absolutely. So any of your listeners that wants to find out more can go to westin.com/resorts and look at our entire portfolio of great hotels.
And Miss Amy?
Sure. For anybody planning a wedding or a honeymoon, pick up our latest issue of Martha Stewart Weddings, which is on newsstands now, or go to our website marthastewartweddings.com.
Well, perfect. Guys, thank you so much. Everyone, we've had the pleasure. Bob Jacobs from Westin and Amy Conway from Martha Stewart. Thank you so much for coming on today. And everyone, thanks for listening to The Matt Burton Show.
Great. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks for having us.